In this video, we are going to cover a lot of things about lists, nested lists, indexing in lists, methods of lists, and some important notes about lists and a lot of other stuff. So please stay tuned. So the first question is, what is a list? Basically, list is a data structure that you can store different things of different types in it. For example, those things can be integer, can be float, can be a string, can be boolean, can be complex, and also other stuff which we are going to talk about. So as you can see, I'm printing X and I'm printing type of X. So if I run a code, you can see this is our list and this is the type of X. As you can see, it is list. Another important note is that we can have nested lists. But what do I mean by nested lists? Nested lists means that we can have lists inside lists. For example, here's a list, and if I define another list inside this list, for example, like this, A, B, and C. So this is called nested lists because we have a list inside another list. And also inside this inner list, we can have another list. For example, here we can define another list, 1, 2, 3. So anyway, you can continue. For example, even inside this inner list, you can have another list and so on. So this is the meaning of nested lists. It means that inside a list, we can have another list. I mean, lists inside lists. Although we have talked about indexing and slicing in previous videos of this playlist, but let's take a very simple example because here we have nested lists, and now let's see and let's talk about indexing when we have nested lists. For example, suppose that we want to access to this one. So in order to do so, first of all, we should access to this list. As you can see, we have different elements. So this is the element at index 0. Remember that Python starts counting at 0. So this is the element at index 0. This is the element at index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, and index 5. So first of all, we should say x sub 5, and let's delete this line. So if I run a code, you can see so far we have access to this part. But as you can see, now we have a list, and here we want to access to this second one. So once again, remember that Python starts counting at 0. So this is index 0, and this is index 1. So here we can simply pass 1. So x sub 5 sub 1. So if I run a code, you can see we have successfully accessed B. And also, as we discussed in previous videos, we could have used negative indexing. For example, as you can see, this is the last element in this list. So here, instead of 5, we can simply type -1, which means the last element. So in this, X, the last element is this list. So if I run a code, so wait a minute. So let's first of all only access to x sub -1, which is going to give us this list, which is actually the last element of x. So if I run a code, you can see so far we have access to this list. So now that we have access to this list, we can say, okay, now we want to access to the element at index 1. So if I run a code, once again, we get B. But now let's talk about another topic about lists, and that topic is methods. But what do I mean by methods? So wait a minute, you will see, please wait a minute. For example, suppose that we want to append a value to this list. For example, suppose that we want to append a string Python to this list. In order to do so, it's very simple. We can simply type x.append because you want to append a value, and what that value is Python. That's it. So after appending this value, so now if I print the x variable and if I run a code, you can see now x is this one. As you can see, we have appended Python to our x. And these types of things, for example, this is one of them, which you can see it is used for appending a value to a list. So anyway, these kinds of things are called method. So now suppose that we want to add multiple values, not only one value. So in order to do so, we cannot use the append method. We should use another method. And for doing so, we can simply type x.extend because we want to extend and we want want to add multiple things to our list. And then we pass a list. For example, suppose that we want to add 20, 21, 22, and other things. You can pass other things as well, like 23 or whatever. Anyway, so after that, if I print the X variable and if I run a code, you can see we have added those values at the end of our list, which in this case is X. But now maybe you say, okay, I want to add, for example, I don't know, a string Python at the beginning of the list, not at the end of the list. So what should I do? In order to do so, you can use another method. And for doing so, you can simply type x.insert because you want to insert a value. And then you should pass two things. First of all, you should pass the index at which you want to insert the elements. For example, suppose that you want to insert a string Python in the beginning of the list. I mean, at index 0. So first of all, we should pass index 0. And after that, we should pass the elements. So here we want to, for example, add Python. We want to insert Python at index 0. So now if I print X and if I run the code, you can see this is X, which you can see we have inserted Python at index 0. But now let's suppose that we want to delete a thing from a list. For example, suppose that from this list, we want to delete this value. So in order to do so, we have different ways that we can do so. One of them is using delete. And after that, we can specify which thing we want to delete. For example, we can say, okay, from Z, we want to delete the element at index 1. Because as you remember, Python starts counting at 0. So this is the element at index 0. And this is the element at index 1. So we want to delete the element at index 1 of this list, which is called Z. And after that, if I print the Z variable and if I run the code, you can see now we have deleted that value. By the way, this is not called method, but there is a method that we can use in order to kind of do the same thing. For example, we have another method called remove. So we can simply type z.remove. So this is a method, and we should pass the element that we want to remove. So here we want to remove this Sajjad, which is my first name. So after that, if I print the Z variable and if I run a code, you can see now we have deleted that value. But now maybe you ask, oh, for example, if I pass A, so as you can see here, we have multiple A's. So here, if I pass, for example, A, so here, as you can see, we are saying that you want to remove A from Z. So your question is, okay, if I pass A, so what is going to happen? Which of these things is it going to remove? Is it going to remove all of them, or the first one, or the last one, or which of them? So the answer is, when you're doing this, it is going to remove only the first element that is going to encounter. So as you can see, we have multiple A's, but it is going to remove only the first element which it is going to encounter, which is in this case, this A. So if I run a code, you can see it has deleted this A, and now this is our list. But now let's talk about another method, which is once again used for deleting something from a list. Once again, suppose that we want to delete this value. So as you have seen so far, one of the things that we can do is using the remove method in order to remove this value. But we have another method called pop. And when we are using the pop method, we should pass the index of that element. So as you can see, the index of this value is 1 because this is the value at index 0 and this is the value at index 1. So here I should pass 1. That's it. So let's delete this line and let's delete the element at index 1. So now if I print Z and if I run a code, you can see we have deleted that value. And keep in mind that if you don't pass anything to the pop method, it is going to delete the last element by default. So if I run a code, you can see it has deleted the last element. So now let's talk about the next method, which is called index, which is used for getting the index of a value. For example, suppose that you want to see what is the index of this value. In order to do so, we can simply type z.index because you want to get the index of this value. And after that, it is going to return something, and we are going to print the value which is going to return. So if I run a code, you can see that it returns 1. It means that the index of this value in this list is 1. But now I'm definitely sure that you are asking something, and you are saying that, okay, here we have 3 A's. So here, if I pass A, so what is going to do? Because here we have 3 A's. So if I pass something like this, which index is it going to return? So in this case, it is going to only return the index of the first value, which is going to encounter, which in this case is this one. So here, if I run a code, you can see it gives us 4, which is the index of this value. Now let's talk about another method, which is called count. And the count method is going to count how many, for example, A's do we have in the Z list. So if I run a code, you can see it gives us 3 because we have 3 A's in this list. Now let's talk about another method, which is called reverse, which is going to reverse the values, to reverse the order of values of a list. For example, here, if I simply type x.reverse, and after that, if I print x, so it is going to reverse the order of the values inside x. So if I run a code, you can see it gives us 2, 3, 4, 1. As you can see, the initial order is 1, 4, 3, 2. But when we reverse it, it is going to return 2, 3, 4, 1. So here is the result. Now let's talk about another method, which is called sort, which is used for sorting the values of a list from smallest to the largest, in ascending order. So in order to do so, we simply type x.sort. It means that we are going to sort the values of x. And after that, if I print x and if I run the code, you can see here is the result. It has sorted these values in ascending order, from smallest to largest. If we want to do the opposite, if we want to sort all this stuff from the largest all the way up to the smallest, which is called descending order, it's very simple. We can pass another thing called reverse, and we say, okay, yes, we want to reverse all this stuff after sorting, which is basically going to return, the sorted version of that list from the largest all the way up to the smallest, which is called descending order. So if I run the code, you can see it gives us 4, 3, 2, 1, which is the sorted version of this list in descending order. So now let's talk about a couple of very important notes. So the first note is that, for example, here we have 2 lists, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So here, if I print x plus y, it is not going to do element-wise addition. It is not going to say, okay, let's add each element of these lists together. For example, 1 plus 4, which is 5, 2 plus 5, which is 7, 3 plus 6, which is 9. No, it is not going to do so. Here, when you are adding 2 lists, actually, this plus symbol, it is going to concatenate these 2 lists. So if I run the code, you can see it has concatenated these 2 lists. So this is x and this is y. As you can see, they have been concatenated together. And also, if we type something like this, for example, x times 2, it is not going to multiply each values of x by 2. So it is not going to do so. So the question is, so what is going to do? It is going to repeat x 2 times. For example, if you type 3, it is going to repeat x 3 times. What do I mean by repeat? If I run a code, you can see it has repeated x 3 times. It has concatenated x. So as you can see, it has repeated x 3 times. This is the first time, this is the second time, and this is the third time. So remember that in Python, lists do not support element-wise operations. And maybe you ask, oh, is there something else in Python that do support element-wise operations? Yes. For example, later on, we will discover some stuff. For example, one of them is NumPy array, which those arrays do support element-wise operations, but lists in Python do not support element-wise operations. So for example, here, if I type x times y, it is going to raise error because Python do not support element-wise operations. So if I run the code, you can see it raises an error because, as I've told you, Python do not support element-wise operations. And even, for example, if you type x times 2, it is not going to multiply each element of x by 2. It is going to actually repeat x 2 times. And finally, remember that in Python, we have a function called len, which means length. And for example, if I pass x, it is going to give us the length of x. And for example, if I print the len of x, I mean the length of x, and if I run a code, you can see it gives us 3. It means that in x, we have 3 elements. So this is the meaning of length. It means number of elements in x. So now I'm definitely sure that a big portion of the people who are watching this video are asking a question. And that question is, what is the difference between method and function? So actually, I cannot talk about this topic yet because we need to cover a lot of other stuff before talking about this topic. But if I want to give you a rule of thumb, you can distinguish these two things using this dot, because methods have this format that you can see. It's a dot and then a name and then parentheses, but functions do not have this dot. But anyway, we are going to talk about the difference between function and method later on. I mean, many videos later in this playlist. This was one of the videos of a step-by-step tutorial playlist of Python. You can find a link to that playlist in the description below. And also we have other playlists for other topics, which you can find them on the channel page.